What is up, everybody? We are back. It is the Michigan versus Michigan State pregame show 2023. It is a good day, and State is finally here. I mean, maybe not so much. I mean, we shall see. Anything can happen between the white lines of the football field. But I will say this, guys. First of all, you know what? I got to introduce myself. I am Flannel Sam from the Morning Woodward Show, and this is Spencer Raxter from Woodward Heavyweights. We got Chris Platte in the TD booth, also from Woodward Heavyweights, and we got Nick Koloff in the sound booth from Woodward Knights. Let's go. We are well represented tonight. Yeah. You know, it's funny because people, and I understand this sentiment for sure, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of juice and excitement in terms of the matchup. And I will say this, Spenny, there have been many kind of lopsided contests. I can point to 2014 in your guys' favor. I can point to last season in Michigan's favor, maybe 2016 in Michigan's favor. And this isn't me rubbing it in or piling it on or anything like that, although some Michigan State fans probably deserve it. Not you, though, Spenny. I like you.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's ever been a game in which so much was on the line for one team and pretty much nothing was on the line for another, like your guys's.
Yeah, you say there's nothing on the line, but our dignity is on the line. Our fucking pride is on the line. This is all it is. This is all it is for Michigan State. It is this game. There's nothing else that matters in this entire season. The season's gone. They're not making a bowl game. They're dog shit. They're going to finish last in the Big Ten more than likely, and this is all it is. This is all we have. So if you're ever going to pull something out of your ass at some point throughout the season, Michigan State, today is the day to do it. I don't think it's going to happen, but fucking here's the hoping. Here's the hoping I'm not crying myself to sleep tonight.
Well, I mean, does it help at all that there's really no I mean, you guys are the dictionary definition of house money tonight. Yeah. And as a Michigan fan, I'm not saying I'm concerned because let's just work backwards here. If Michigan were to somehow lose this game, which they won't, it would be the worst loss in school history. That's why they're not going to lose this game.
Between that and Appalachian State, it's probably this Michigan State team, because this Michigan team is the team that is a college football shoo-in. It is a national championship favorite. If you go out there and you lose to the Spartans, it's not going to look good, because this is the worst Michigan State team I've seen in my life.
Really? Is it worse than 2016?
Yes, it is.
All right. I mean,
for sure.
And before we look ahead a little bit, I kind of want to look back and sort of do a bit of a season autopsy with both me and you.
Before we do that, William Turnbull
in
the Woodward Sports chat says, Michigan has to take care of business. This is such a trap game. No, it's
I hate that word.
It is not a trap game. A trap game, the other team has to have a pulse. A trap game, the other team has to have at least somewhat of a reason why they could win this game. There is no chance in God's green earth and the fiery pits of hell that Michigan State wins this game.
No chance?
No chance.
I guess that would be make it...
I fucking hate Michigan. I hate Michigan.
I know you do.
Completely and utterly. Everything about them. But they're a great football team. And Michigan State is a dog shit football team, so it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you on that one. I guess by that definition, it's the very definition of a trap game. But when you think of trap game, you think of something that actually has a chance of happening. And even as somebody who gets nervous for every single game myself, I'm not super nervous about this one just quite yet. So I'm going to start with you, Spencer, because we're going to get some of the Michigan State stuff out of the way, because I don't want to put you through torture the entire episode. How'd you guys get here? Just how?
Just a jerk off on a phone call. It's all it takes to derail a season. But obviously this Michigan State roster, they had hope coming into the season. You had some players that you're like, all right, maybe they can get 8 wins, maybe they can do this. But when something like that happens with your head coach, it just completely derails the season. The kids lose interest, they lose focus with the media circus going around. You have 4 of your best players aren't playing. They haven't played in the past 3 weeks. So it's bad, man. It's bad. And Jay Johnson is dog shit. Scotty Hazelton is dog shit. It is completely terrible. This is the worst situation I've ever seen at Michigan State. The roster, these kids deserve better. And if you don't get Urban Meyer, every single one of them should transfer out.
Well, I mean, the way that it's going, and they're definitely going to get a new head coach. That could end up happening. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah. This is a tough sledding for you guys, but I have to ask you this question too, because obviously I'm not going to get into the Mel Tucker stuff because it's water under the bridge, but if he were still coaching this team, I know Mel Tucker, you guys have maybe, I would say, a mixed bag of what he was just as a coach, the whole situation aside. Do you think that they'd maybe be a 4-win team if Mel Tucker were here?
If Mel Tucker was still coaching this team, they're not going to beat Washington. Like that wasn't going to happen. But they would have beat Iowa. They would have beat Rutgers.
Yeah.
So those were games where you saw the lack of focus, the lack of cohesion, and the lack of a coaching staff make them lose those games. Those were games they should have won. Those were games they easily should have won. And if you had a head coach who was humming with his program, you had your best players in there, you win those games. So it's, Mel, fuck, man. Why'd you got to beat your meat? Like, you put us in a bad spot. This is terrible. This is, like I said, this is going to be a curb stomping.
Curb stomping does sound like
American History X style. This is going to be a curb stomping. It is going to be bad.
I gotta go to the other fellow Sparty in the room. Chris, are you as hopeless for this game and for your football program as Spencer is?
Yeah, I mean, how can you not be? Like, there's no way, if you want to be the glass half full, which you extended, and I appreciate that. Being on this show, you are by far the easiest U of M person I ever have to deal with in my life. And when it comes to this game, it's just about I built myself up to, if the miracle happens, awesome. But it's a miracle. It's a long shot. Like, I'm already there. There is no getting hyped for it. I have my people that are still at state that are talking to me about the game and whatever, and we're not hype about it at all. Like, we're not excited. We're not hyped. I've checked the pulse of the people that are there. They're just there. They're already blackout drunk. They're already blackout drunk because at this point, they don't want to remember what's about to happen on that field.
I might sleep in the studio tonight because I got to do the Woodward and Maine show tomorrow morning, and then I got to do the pregame show for the Lions game, and then I got to do the Lions watch party. I should have brought a change of clothes, but we'll see. We'll see how the night goes. I'm probably going to Uber home tonight.
Bro, I got to do Woodward and Maine tomorrow, too. So, I mean, I guess it might be a Wolverine and Sparty sleep. Okay, no, we're not going to get into that, but that sounded a little cringe. But you know what? I will say this about Michigan State, and I'm not one to extend any sort of olive branches because I think your program right now is poverty because it's about to be the second consecutive season of no bowl game.
Yeah.
Your coach got fired based off of non-coaching circumstances, and it just looks like it's in disarray right now. But it's not like you guys have been taking L's like 45-0 or anything like that. I mean, Griffin Lackey, our esteemed sales guy in the back,
shout out Griffin,
great guy. But like, he always likes to point out about how they outgained Maryland in that game. I know they only scored 9 points against Maryland and had a couple of turnovers and a turnover on downs, but still, it's not like Maryland just completely took them to the woodshed. And then Iowa, I believe not only if it's also a Mel Tucker thing, but if Caton Hauser would have played, they probably win that game.
They win that game for sure.
Noah Kim just gagged in that game.
Noah Kim's dog shit.
He very much is. And then against Rutgers, you had a team which I'm not going to try to hype up Rutgers or anything like that because
they're a good team though.
I mean, people are going to make fun of me for it, but they're probably the fifth best team in the Big Ten,
probably.
fifth or sixth best team in the Big Ten.
I would say so.
Yeah, they're going to be a bowl team. They won today against Indiana, and I know it's Indiana, but still, like, Rutgers making a bowl game is a big deal. And you guys had them down 24-6 in the fourth quarter before you just imploded.
Yeah, this roster has talent on it.
Yes.
Like, this roster has talent on it. Caton Hauser, although he's young, is a talented quarterback. You have a bevy of talented receivers. You've got NFL talent in guys like a Malik Hall, like a Jordan Hall, like a Zion Young. I think those are all guys that can play in the NFL. You have a Jacoby Windman, who is an NFL talent, but he is obviously not playing. Charles Brantley, I don't know where he's going to be, but he is not playing. But it's the lack of cohesion. It is the distractions, lack of a leader, lack of a head coach presence. That's how you lose games like that. You lose games where you look better than Iowa for 3 quarters. You lose games where you look better than Rutgers for 3 quarters because you don't have that pillar on the sideline, because the guys are distracted, because of everything they're hearing, because of your jerking off on a phone call. Like, that's what happens when you fuck around. You find out, and Michigan State has found out.
Yeah, they have, and I think Cooper DeJean had something to say about that for Iowa as well too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's one of those players that I'm not going to lie.
And if you have a head coach in that situation, a good head coach, you say, hey, let's kick it out of bounds so the best player on the field doesn't get the ball. Like, is that crazy for me?
Of course
Let's
you're a
kick
madman, Spenny.
a low line drive punt directly to the best player on the field, the only explosive weapon in Iowa's program. But, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, Detroit Dab. Can we turn this into a Red Wings show? Let's go Red Wings.
I'm down.
Then we could all have some unity. But what fun would that be? Because it is not a day about unity. It's a day. It's hate week. Hate. All right. So Michigan State. Obviously, you kind of did your autopsy on your season so far. So I'm going to go to Michigan right now because obviously Michigan, they haven't played really anybody yet. But I will say this: they've done what a great team does, which is beat the people in front of you and beat them to a pulp. I understand in the first 4 games there was a little bit of question of, is this offense look good enough? Are they dominating enough? But I thought that was all nonsense anyway. But in the last 3 games, Michigan really has imposed their will on their last 3 opponents: at Nebraska, at Minnesota, and home versus Indiana. I almost forgot for a second because they just kind of all run together.
It's the same thing. You might as well played Indiana 4 times.
The old boss, same as new boss, same as the old boss. Yes, exactly. That is basically what it is.
Old boss.
And that's the thing. I know that it's a bunch of like scrub teams or whatever, but you know what, Nick? I'm going to go to you on this one. Is it or is it not impressive that the most points Michigan has allowed in a game this year is 10, and every other game it's been double digits?
I think it's extremely impressive. I love what this defense is doing. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You're holding them under 10. And I want to hit on this game real quick.
Go for
Everybody thinks that this is going to be an absolute slaughtering and a disaster.
It is.
Sparty fans are getting ready for this in their mind. This is the first game at night in Spartan Stadium. Crazy shit can happen. Let's be honest. At the beginning, if they keep it close, this game's going to be closer than people think. I'm a Michigan fan. I've seen crazy games in this rivalry. I know there's a huge talent differential here, but honestly, I think it might be a little closer than people expect in this one.
I mean, I suppose, and
not a fucking chance.
You know what, Nick? I don't necessarily completely disagree with you on that one. I think there are a couple ways that it could go, and I'm not going to give away too much early on in the show, but I think it could be an absolute massacre bloodbath of epic proportions, or it could be one where Michigan State makes it a little bit too uncomfortable for Michigan fans at halftime, and then Michigan pulls away and wins by, I don't know, 21, 24, or something like that.
That's where I'm at with
You look at the games you guys just played. Like you said, complete and utter domination over in Indiana, over in Minnesota, over in Nebraska. Michigan State is worse than those teams.
I mean,
I understand. Oh, it's a night game. Oh, it's a rivalry. I don't give a shit. You've got one of the best coaches in college football. You have one of the best rosters head to toe in college football. Going in angry, you're going against a rival too. This isn't going to be a close game. It's not going to be a close game. If it is inside of a 25-point game, I consider it a win.
Oh, really?
Yes.
A win?
Yes. If they cover the spread, it's a win.
It's a win. So
I'm not going to be parading.
Okay. I was about to say.
But if they cover the spread, okay, like that's fine. They're not going to cover this. This is going to be a 30-point game.
Okay, and I would love nothing more than that. And to kind of finish the quick autopsy of Michigan football, not even an autopsy, because this season is alive and well. There ain't nothing dead in Michigan right now. This team, I would say, for the most
Except
part,
for those team tapes.
Hey, you know what? We're going to get to that more in the later segments. But this Michigan team, I will say this, pretty much everything even offensively. I know there's some concerns about the running game early on in this season, but Blake Corum has basically picked up right where he left off from last year. I know that he's not putting up the monster numbers completely that he was last year, but he does have 12 touchdowns. He has been super consistent, and the offensive line looks more cohesive. J.J. McCarthy, to me, has played great. To me, he is bordering on a Heisman contender, but we'll get to that more later. The only thing about Michigan that is concerning, I would say, is they still haven't gotten Donovan Edwards going. It hasn't hurt them at all, but I would like to see, I mean, does that concern you at all, Nick? Because I thought Donovan Edwards was going to really, really break out, and he really hasn't done anything.
Yeah, he's been, God, honestly, he's been horrible. Like, we thought he was going to have this major year, borderline Corum numbers, and it's just been brutal. But hopefully he can get going in this game. He went to West Bloomfield High School. He was a big-time Michigan recruit, and I think he's going to take this game personally, and I think maybe this is the breakout game for Donovan Edwards.
Okay, Ryan Miller in the Woodward Sports Chat. Why are we getting along, LMAO? That's what I'm saying, LOL. Hate week. Time to lay it on Michigan State. Flannel trying to be nice to Spenny, and Spenny always shitting on Michigan and their fans. Oh, well. All right, here you go. Fuck Michigan. Fuck all your players. Fuck all your fans. I hate all of you. Period. Suck a dick. That's all you get. I know we're going to lose. I can't talk shit because Michigan is a much better team and has been a much better team the past couple years. But fuck all you guys. I hate you.
You know what though, Ryan?
Including you, Flannel.
It's a hot girl. It's the hot girl bummer anthem. Okay, fuck you. All right. Let's get this back on track. I will say this though, and Ryan Miller, I understand your sentiment because there have been a lot of Michigan State fans, both on Twitter in these chats, not necessarily at the building because we're all, I would say, we all get along fairly well, but some of them have been fairly out of pocket. And I will say this. And I'm going to look back a little bit into the Wayback Machine, something that I don't want to do, but I think it's necessary before we go to break. Between 2018 and 2015, Michigan State was just the dominant force in this rivalry. Michigan was 100% poverty. And I think a lot of Michigan fans still have some scars from that moment. I certainly do. It was from my ages of like 17 to 24. Those are formative fan years, and I didn't get anything. I got nothing. And the best team that Michigan had during that time lost on trouble with the fucking snap. I know.
I was there.
It's terrible.
I was there. Awesome. I was in the corner of the end zone where the kick was returned to. Michigan fans were lining to storm the field.
Brutal.
Michigan fans were lining up.
Of course they were.
To storm the field. And guess what? Jalen Watts Jackson, the man who sat next to me in my coaching basketball class, my fucking dog. Okay, but again, this is not what I want to be. I don't want to be a Michigan fan living in the past. I don't want to be that. I don't give a shit about the past. The past is in the past. I care about right now and what we're leaning towards. And what we're leaning towards is absolute and utter domination by Michigan. And it's going to be bad. So I can't talk shit. You can ask Sam. I feel like me and Sam are pretty good with our fandoms to where he is a very I don't know how to put this. He's a very concentrated Michigan fan. He's not gonna talk shit. He's not gonna do that. I feel the same way. I know what Michigan State is. I know where their spot is. I know what Michigan is. I know where their spot is. As Sam, we had to do a show on this network the day after Michigan lost to TCU. The bottom line, the final word. Holiday, because Michigan lost. So me and Sam were sitting on this desk. How much shit did I talk about Michigan losing to TCU? None. Because what am I? Oh, you lost in the college football playoff, pussy. Like, we didn't make a bowl game. I can't talk shit about that. I don't care about what happened in the past. I care about where my franchise is right now. And right now, they're at the bottom of the absolute fucking pond scum. They're trash. So I can't talk shit. I can still hate all of you, and I do, trust me, but I can't talk shit. They're terrible.
Well, and to folks like Spencer Raxter and Chris Platte, I don't take any pleasure in your guys' pain personally, but in Michigan State as a whole and everything, hell yeah, I'm happy that Michigan State is poverty.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm happy that they're about to go to their second consecutive season with no bowl game. Hell yeah, I'm happy that Michigan is probably going to beat them by more than 22 points for 2 consecutive years. I'm very, very happy about that, and I think both seasons will ultimately culminate in Michigan at the very worst winning the Big Ten and going to the college football playoff. I am happy as hell about that. I love your guys' demise, but at the same time, it's just when we're doing a show like this, it doesn't always have to be about hate. And anybody in this room, anybody at this building will say so. I don't like text your guys' phones or come in the next day being too cocky about it. I mean, I'll be excited. I'll be happy as hell when Michigan gets this win, but it's not like I'm going to spend the whole time tormenting you or Chris Platte during the live stream. I mean, Nick Koloff, I don't know about you, but we will see. You wouldn't do that, would you?
My brother is a Spartan grad, double Spartan grad. Shout out Tim, HR Tim. But
shout out Spartan Dog.
Spartan Dog. I love nothing more than to give him shit. But it fair. Just does not feel right this year. It really doesn't. This doesn't feel like one of those games where you go back and forth, you talk all the shit, and it's kind of sucks. It's taking a little bit of juice out of it, but we're bringing you the juice today. We're going to give you all the info that you need. But yeah, it just doesn't have that same kind of kick because State's not there. It
doesn't have the same juice because normally in this rivalry, the teams are competitive. And during the Brady Hoke, Rich Rod era, they weren't this bad. They weren't this bad. They weren't missing bowl games for 2 consecutive years. Like I said, this is the worst I've ever seen the Spartans program in my entire life. I am a Spartan Dog. I am an alumni. I love the school. East Lansing is my second home. So my grandparents have 21 grandchildren on my mom's side. About 10 of them went to Michigan and 10 of them went to State. So we get angry. Everybody gets angry. We all talk shit. It doesn't matter this year. And guess what? March Madness happened, Midnight Madness happened. It's basketball season. I'm just worried about basketball season.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all I'm talking about. All I'm talking about is, I'll get in a second. No. This is going to be, I can't talk shit You'd be like, oh yeah, fuck you, Michigan. We're going to win. I'm not an idiot. I'm a realistic person. I know when to fold my hand. And my hand's been folded since Washington. I've been mentally preparing for this ass whooping since Washington. So.
Yeah, what is that sport that James Naismith invented that's round and you put it into a hoop that doesn't exist right now? I don't know. This show will conveniently, I don't think, reconvene during basketball season. Oh darn! But all right, let's go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the recent allegations surrounding the Michigan football program. We will be right back. This is the Michigan State pregame show, Woodward Sports Network.
Check it out.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Welcome back to the Michigan State pregame show live on Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam. We got Spencer Raxter from the Woodward Heavyweights. We got Chris Platte in the TDD booth and Nick Koloff in the sound booth. Before we move on, this is the type of... So Gray Gilman, I got to read this comment because it's getting under my skin a little bit because it reminds me of a certain time in the past. This is from Gray Gilman. I'm a diehard Michigan fan, but I'm so sick of the Michigan overhype this year. It's natty or bust this year because next year they're going to find out what it's like to play real teams. And okay, so there was...
That's fair.
You know what? That is not fair because...
What? Come on!
All right, so natty or bust. If it's natty or bust, then by that definition, it's not overhype. Because I agree, if Michigan does not win the national championship this year, it is a failed season. And so what's wrong with that?
Wow. That's very big of you, Flannel. I think that's the first time I've heard you say
that.
Oh,
stop it. You've heard me say that
I think that's
before.
the first time I've heard Flannel say that. It's very
the
big
first
of
time. You know what Gray Gilman kind of reminds me of? And this stuff, I get it. Back in the day in 2018 and 2019, it was a different time in Michigan football. It's basically what David Hatchetman Hull does every single day on the Valeni Show with Rico.
Fuck those losers.
Yeah, fuck those losers, by the way. It's that whole realistic Michigan fan, the reasonable Michigan fan. And I get it. Back in the day, there were some Michigan fans who would get out of pocket and talk about how they're going to win the national championship. Well, every year the yearly trip to Columbus or at home versus Ohio State in the big game would basically be a bloodbath. It would be a slaughter. But this is a new era right now. There ain't no realistic or reasonable Michigan fans. I don't have time for them right now because right now Michigan, even though they haven't succeeded on the national stage, have had it humming in a way that they haven't had it humming as a football program since the late 90s. Humming, absolutely humming. And it's continuing this season. So I don't want to hear about overhype. I don't want to hear about playing real teams next year. So are Penn State and Ohio State not real teams? I know some people find a way to say, oh yeah, it's James Franklin. It's a soft Ohio State team, but you know what? Those are still big games. So we're going to get to them later.
Those are real teams for sure. And you guys, your schedule next year is not going to be as easy as it was this year. Nobody's schedule next year is going to be as easy as it was this year. But luckily, next year, you get the expansion. Yeah. So you can afford a loss or two and still get into the playoffs. But this year, you're right. It should be national championship or bust for Michigan. This is the best. I don't know. I still think the Aiden Hutchinson, David Ojabo Michigan team is the best Michigan team I've ever seen. But you look at these guys, this is the 1 year of college football where you look around the landscape and you're like, it's up for grabs. There isn't a team that Georgia's out Brock Bowers for what, a couple months.
Could be the whole season.
Season. And even with Brock Bowers, they weren't the Georgia team of last year. Alabama's losing to Tennessee right now. USC has no defense. Michael Penix is a dog, but are you really going to trust Washington more than Michigan? I guess they've been tested more, but This should be national championship or bust for Michigan. And again, if they get into the college football playoff and lose in the first round like they always do, I'm not gonna be like, oh, fucking losers, couldn't get it done, because we're gonna have 4 wins. So I can't talk shit. And this game is, I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm going to be sad. I feel like I'm going to be crying. I feel like I'm going to be playing Bayside in the shower by myself tonight because I'm just going to be upset. Yeah, I love Bayside too. But this is just a terrible, terrible day for me because there's no chance of me being happy. If we lose, we lose. I don't care if it's a close game. I know I said if they cover the spread, it's a win, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you cover the spread. If you lose, you lose, and they're going to fucking lose.
All right, so are you going to be pounding your head against the wall?
No.
Baby, pound. Okay, that was a Bayside reference.
Yeah. Pound my head.
Spenny, are you going to hit him with one of these?
I'm not going to.
And I did this to myself. Soon it's just not worth getting back up. That's what it is. It's not worth getting back up. This team is dog shit. Like, it pisses me. I took a nap last Saturday in the middle of the game.
You missed a doozy.
After the fucking muff punt, I was like, all right, yeah. I went and took a nap. I can't do this. Flannel. Did I not want Scotty Hazelton and Jay Johnson shot to the fucking sun last year?
Yes, you did.
The way both of them kept their jobs does not make sense to me. They are the 2 worst coordinators in college football. They should both be gone. Scotty Hazelton at least at the end of the year showed a pulse. Jay Johnson is by far the worst coordinator in all levels of football.
Oh, I mean, Jay Johnson, 100%. I don't know. Even last year's offense, it wasn't bereft of talent or anything like that. They had Keon Coleman. You had Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed, look how he's doing in Green Bay. He's doing pretty damn good. And Keon Coleman is probably going to be the second wide receiver off the board, either second or third. But you know what?
Second,
you think
Straight
Romo Ozunde from what? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter because he is not a Spartan dog anymore. He is a Jordan Travis's Jordan Travis's now.
Yeah,
but
a Heisman contender.
100%. We're going to get more to the Heisman later, but
better odds than JJ should be. He should be in New York before JJ.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a second. But, of course, we got to talk about the allegations surrounding Michigan football. It's certainly something that I didn't want to talk about and something that, honestly, and maybe I'm not doing my due diligence as a Michigan fan or even a college football fan, but I don't really care that much because I just want Michigan to win. And if it means they bent the rules a little bit, if they did or they didn't, it doesn't really concern me at all because here's the thing, and this is a universal truth. If Michigan does what they're supposed to do, and we already talked about how wide open it is right now. If Michigan does what they're supposed to do, they go take care of business, they go 15-0, they win the national championship, and then when they win said national championship, because Jim Harbaugh is certainly going to use this as motivation. You know what Jim Harbaugh can do? Jim Harbaugh can just hold up the national championship trophy, and just give a bunch of these. Because
but when he loses in the first round, and then he is the head coach of the Bears next year, how are you going to feel?
Well, I that wouldn't feel very good. You know what? Let's I'm going to piggyback off of that a little bit because the one thing that these allegations do, and I think that they do something that is interesting. I think it even furthers the urgency that Michigan has to get it done this season because this season the results of the investigation it's not gonna happen by then. We obviously don't know if there's really anything there. I mean, you can suspect it, you cannot, it doesn't really matter. This is the year where Michigan 100% has to do it because we've already talked about how next year they're gonna lose some guys, they're gonna have a much tougher schedule. I don't see them going through next season undefeated, but this season they could, and now it just amps up the pressure because you never know what's going to happen to this Michigan football program. This is the year where it has to get done. This is the year where you can just say, you know what, it doesn't matter. How about you stop us? And that's what's driven me a little bit crazy about some Michigan State fans. And if you want some hate, you'll get some hate. Some Michigan State fans, some Ohio State fans. You see some of them on Twitter in this chat during the Morning Woodward show on Friday, just basically saying, oh my God, Michigan's guilty. Every single one of their wins are going to be vacated. The only reason why they beat Ohio State is because they cheated. cheated. Even Michigan State, oh my God. Michigan now has an asterisk on their Big Ten championship banners and all of that. And my point to everything with that is, with Michigan State, and this is something that I think you understand, your program is poverty right now.
Yes.
It is 100% poverty.
Spare some change.
Absolutely.
Spare some change.
You can't talk reckless like that
No.
because we could have your signs or not. You're not going to stop us.
Yes.
And Ohio State, it's funny the whole turn that Ohio State fans went from, you know what, Ryan Day's right, we do have a tough team, to Michigan cheated.
Yeah.
Like you hear how unself-aware that is at this point. So to me, the whole sign stealing thing, obviously they suspended an assistant. I'm not too worried about it. I just want Michigan to go out and play football. And if anything, I need Michigan to use this as extra motivation going into this game, in the subsequent games, the Penn State game, the Ohio State game, the Big Ten championship, the college football playoff, because Michigan is under a microscope. And we know as Michigan fans that if they slip up once, even for a half,
fuck them.
You're going to hear just like, they must not have had the signs. I mean, I've heard some people say, so they had the signs for Ohio State, but they didn't have them for TCU. I mean, I've heard some of that nonsense being spewed on other places throughout Detroit as well. But it's just, that's what drives me crazy about this whole situation, is Michigan State fans are almost taking a victory lap. For what?
And I said this on Heavyweights. I don't know if you heard when it first broke on the show. We had it. I don't give a shit.
Right.
That's what happens. College football is a top 3 dirtiest organizations in governing sports. It's like FIFA, Olympics, college football. This is what happens. This is what teams do. I don't give a shit. Michigan could run the ball literally every single play in this game. They could not throw the ball a single time, and they'd still win by 20 points. It doesn't matter if they have the signs. It doesn't matter if they have the signs for the first 8 opponents on their team, on their schedule so far. They're still going to win. I don't care. I would do the same fucking thing. If I am the head coach of Michigan, Urban Meyer said it. When he was at Ohio State, he had a coach on his staff who his only job was to watch Michigan all year. That's what you do. That is what college football is. It's dirty. It's grimy. It's ugly. You get caught. You get suspended, but you still push forward. I don't give a shit about him stealing signs. I don't care about any of that. It doesn't matter to me at all.
You know what? I'm glad we can break bread on this, because I'm obviously going to get my comeuppance during basketball season, but that is far.
I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
You know, honestly, I think I'm too fair and too nice on this, but I'm going to go to Nick on this one, because how have you been feeling as these allegations have continued to come out, and just what is your 30,000-foot view on it all?
I think, like you said, this is natty or bust. If it wasn't before, it definitely is now, and I thought it was before, but I'm just sick of all this other sideshow BS, honestly, as a Michigan fan. I'm tired of everybody trying to nitpick every single little thing that they do, but I guess that's what happens when you're on top, like they have been for the last 3 years. They've been the dogs of the Big Ten. They've gotten to 2 college football playoffs, and they're on bound to get to their 3rd this year. I'm just sick of every single little thing they do just being under this ginormous microscope.
Yeah, in Michigan right now, I know people like to talk about what they haven't done in the college football playoff, and that is 100% fair. But as it pertains to the Big Ten, you like that phrase right there? As it pertains to the Big Ten, Michigan is the top dog right now.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to get to it a little bit more later, because I think it's relevant to Michigan in the game, and especially more Michigan than Michigan State. It's not really relevant to Michigan, but what happened at Columbus today with Penn State at Ohio State. I'll just preview it right now. I think Michigan is clearly.
About that too.
We will talk about that too very, very soon.
So I hear all this shit from Michigan fans. Oh, these teams are ass. Look at how bad these teams are. Oh my God. That's what happens when you play another good team.
Ooh.
You're not going to look great. If you play another top 10 team, it normally doesn't go well. You're not going to blow out another top 10 team by 40 points. You're not going to blow out one of the best defenses in the country by 40 points. So that's what it is for me. Brady. Fuck you, Brady. Brady. No, I love you, Brady.
He's a good Michigan. But no, things got pretty spicy.
Brady
in the
Wood, Brady Wood, Booner, these fucking Walmarts. They're talking about, oh, these teams are trash. Michigan's going to dog walk them. Look at how bad they look. Yeah, I'm sure you guys look good against Minnesota and Bowling Green, even though your Heisman contender quarterback threw 3 interceptions against the MAC team. It's when you play another good team, you're not going to win by 40 points. You're not going to dominate the whole game. So just wait. If Michigan goes out there, I think they're going to beat both. Ohio State's going to be tough, but I think they're going to beat Penn State. I always knew Penn State's a fraud. It's a good team. It'd still be a good win, but Michigan's going to beat Penn State. But Ohio State, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, you know what? I'll respond to that when we come back from break, because I think that's actually a good segue into talking about that, because it is very, very relevant to Michigan for sure. We will be right back. This is the Michigan State pregame show on the Woodward Sports Network.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness!
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
All right, so I want to respond to what Spencer Raxter said and kind of the sentiment surrounding the whole Ohio State and Penn State matchup that happened earlier on today. So when we watched that game, for much of it, it was a slugfest, or I don't even know if it was a slugfest or just bad quarterback play. It just wasn't a very exciting game to watch.
It was two good defenses playing each other. That's what happens. Everybody's saying, oh, Drew Aller looked like shit. Oh, this guy Kyle McCord looked like shit. Yeah, they didn't look good. That's what happens when you play a top 10 defense. That's what happens when you play a top 5 defense. When you're not going against Bowling Green. Oh, wait, your quarterback still looked like shit against Bowling Green? Like, pump the brakes. I still think Michigan's going to win. I still think they're a better team all around. But, like, why are you talking shit about these guys when you're playing what should be a MAC team this week?
Well,
a team that would probably lose to Bowling Green this week.
Let the record show that the shit talking did not come from me.
That's
because
fair.
At this point in the season, let's just be fair about something, because right now I'm not really up for the Ohio State shit talk just yet, because you know who made a big difference in that game? Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yes, he did.
That was the difference in why Ohio State won and Penn State lost, because Marvin Harrison Jr. is arguably the best single player in college football.
When Michigan and Ohio State play, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be the best player on the field. Undebatably.
Okay.
Undebatably.
All right, fine. Will Johnson be in second, and let the record show that. And I saw this kind of circulating in the chat that Marvin Harrison actually did take the top off of Michigan once last year, and it didn't matter. He needed to do that maybe 3 or 4 more times in order for Ohio State to win. But one thing that I know you're talking about, Michigan hasn't played any big games. They don't know what it's like. What did Michigan do against Penn State and Ohio State last year?
They dog-walked them.
Beat them by a combined 47 points in the Penn State game last year. Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum just basically did a Jonah Hill from 21 Jump Street. Drop my nuts on your motherfucking forehead. That's basically what they did to Penn State last year. And then Ohio State at Columbus. That is a pretty damn big game, no matter how you slice it.
Are these teams better than they were last year? This Penn State team is exponentially better than it was last year. The Ohio State team, it's close.
I think Ohio State's worse.
You think they're worse?
Because Kyle McCord and C.J. Stroud,
Yeah.
It is a big gap.
That is fair.
The gap is the Atlantic Ocean, honestly.
And Ohio State was still last year a field goal away from winning the national championship.
Yeah, but they still got dog-walked at home by Michigan. It's just it's a matchup thing, and I understand
because they had their
that.
plays.
Okay, fine. Here we go. They just happened to call that perfect pass play to Cornelius Johnson. They
knew what coverage they were in. I'm just fucking around.
All right, but that's the thing. Michigan has played in big games as recently as last year. I know this year they haven't so far, but they have that opportunity. And when they played in big games, TCU notwithstanding, they handled themselves pretty damn well. They went to Ohio State, beat them in Columbus for the first time since 2000, beat them by 20 22 points. J.J. McCarthy had his best game of the year. Donovan Edwards closed the game down like he was Mariano frickin' Rivera for the 90s Yankees. That's what happened in that game. Hey, you know what? I will gargle that game because it was one of the greatest days of my life. Michigan is fine. And I know we might have been a little bit preemptive in the whole, oh my God, this just means that Michigan is going to beat them both by 20. I don't necessarily think that. But you know what it actually does, watching that Penn State and Ohio State game? It ramps up the pressure of, I'm now at the point where Michigan can't go into Happy Valley and lose under any circumstance.
No.
Hell
because
no.
They can't lose a single game. I mean, they can lose to Ohio State and still get in the playoff. They can.
Sure.
They can lose to Ohio State and still get in the playoff. But if they go into Happy Valley and lose to Penn State,
I mean, it won't
it's
be
in
good.
Penn State?
It's in Penn State.
And it's in Ann Arbor for the Ohio State game, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of, because we're just having fun today, we're just chopping it up. I got and Brady Wood, one of our esteemed salesmen,
Fuck Brady.
a very fine Michigan man.
Facts.
He brought this
He's not
up.
a Michigan man.
All right. So a Walmart Wolverine. If you want.
The definition of a Michigan man. The definition of a Michigan man is someone who graduated from Michigan. That is what. Look it up, Booner.
All right.
Oh, we welcome our Saginaw Valley
You're a
State
sore loser.
Cardinal.
You're a sore loser.
Sore loser.
But hey, let me say this. Can you guys hear me? Am I
Booner's
unmuted?
Yeah.
Am I
Stop
unmuted?
yelling.
But
Yeah,
if
you're-
Michigan
stop
State,
yelling,
no,
you
hey,
fucking idiot.
If Michigan State's winning and you guys are on top of the mountain, you'll be gladly say stuff to us.
Yeah,
so sit
'cause
down.
I went there.
Sit down
You
when you
stupid
suck.
bitch.
When you suck,
'Cause I went
you
there.
won't
I
say
went
anything.
there.
No, when you suck, you won't say
Where's your
anything.
SVSU gear, huh?
I don't care.
Yeah, you don't
When you
care.
suck, you won't say anything. But when you guys are on
When I
top,
suck, I
all
won't
you
say
do
anything.
is talk to
What
us.
the fuck does that even
Shut
mean?
up.
What are you even
You're a
talking
loser
about
right now. You're a
I
loser.
know. I just
Okay.
admitted my team's dog shit.
95% of Michigan fans are Walmart Wolverines.
Yeah, you guys are all
and 95 of
fucking
Michigan
pussies.
State fans are Walmart
Cap.
Michigan State
Cap.
fans. No, it's not.
Cap.
Look it up.
Cap.
I bet you there's a
Cap.
stat.
Yeah, look it up.
It's a worldwide university, you idiot.
Yeah, okay, no, it's fine. It's
So
fine.
is Michigan State.
Yeah, and
So
you know what?
95% of your fans are Walmart Spartans.
Why are you getting so upset about it? Because it's true.
No, because it's a stupid
The only
excuse
reason
'cause
you
guys
get so
suck.
upset about it is
It's
because
a
it's
stupid
true.
excuse because you guys suck.
Oh yeah,
No, yeah, it is.
yeah. That's
If
why
you guys
we
were
suck?
winning, you wouldn't call us Walmart
I
Wolverines.
call you the bullshit
You
all the
wouldn't.
time.
You're lying.
It doesn't matter.
You're lying.
It doesn't matter.
Liar.
Ask Braylon. Ask Ryan.
That's a liar.
Ask Sam.
Liar.
I don't give a fuck.
No, you're lying.
Yeah. Oh,
Because if you guys
say
were
it again.
winning, you would be in our ears right now. You wouldn't say anything about SVSU.
Oh,
That's
I
a
would.
fact.
I
No,
would.
that's a fact.
I would say, oh, this doesn't hurt
Liar.
as much.
You're lying.
This doesn't hurt as much.
You're lying.
Just like you don't care about your team not making the NCAA tournament
You're lying.
because you're
Wait,
Saginaw
what
Valley
did
State
you
Cardinals.
say? You said your team. Thank you.
Yeah, that's your team.
Point proven. Thanks, Flannel.
But you're on the coaching staff at Saginaw Valley State, right?
I was.
So they don't matter at all.
No, they
You don't
do,
claim
but
them.
I'm still.
How many-
I've grown
how many
up
ti-
since I came out of. You know what?
Yeah.
I grew up Michigan. I was born and raised. Whole family Michigan. I've had half of my family graduate from
So
Michigan.
you're a follower.
Not. No, I was born into it.
Yeah, so you followed them.
No, I wasn't because I
Like
was born
sheep.
into it.
You were born into it, but
My
you,
whole family-
but
I
you
was born
attended
into a
it-
family
but you
that were
attended
Michigan
and
fans.
graduated from another
Half
college.
of my family did.
You attended and
I
graduated.
was too
another
dumb to
college.
get into Michigan.
Oh, that sucks. You're too dumb to make your own decisions.
I
too.
could have got into Michigan State. Chose not to.
Oh yeah?
100%.
Why not?
Because I went to Saginaw Valley to coach.
Oh,
I had. It's
Yeah.
like people who get scholarships to go play somewhere. If you didn't get a scholarship at Michigan, why would you just say, oh, never mind, I'm not going to go do this. I'm going to go to Michigan. Come on.
yeah. They don't claim them.
ridiculous,
Though. They don't
Spenny.
claim them though.
It's ridiculous.
I never.
Yeah, they do if they grew up a Michigan
I've never
fan.
seen you wear a Saginaw Valley State.
I do all the
anything.
time, actually. There was a show last week I did at Woodward Nights with the Saginaw Valley State basketball shirt
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Check it
Sit
out.
down,
You rep them
buddy.
like that?
Sit down,
You rep them
buddy.
like that?
I can't wait to see you just in misery tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be in misery for sure.
I can't wait. It's going to be one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah, why? Because the team
'Cause
you
you're in
like.
misery.
Because the team you like won.
Hey, go blue. Luigi, I am a follower. Grew up a Michigan fan. Was born into it.
You know what
Welcome.
I like about this, and I'm gonna find the comment because it's very relevant. It's from Trippy Gypsy. How the fuck am I watching a freakout that doesn't involve Sam? LOL. You know what? I'm happy about that too. I'm just sitting
Yeah.
back and enjoying.
I call
the
Sam a
magic.
Walmart Wolverine, and he accepts it.
I know.
Booner's too much in denial.
No, because I was born into
You see,
this.
he's still fighting it. He's
All
still
right.
fighting it. The first stage is acceptance.
It's
Booner.
just funny that only 3% of Wolverine fans are real Wolverine fans.
Where's that
only,
stat? Show me that
3% of Spartans fans.
Show
are
me those stats.
I'll find it by the end of
Yeah,
the night.
no, you're just making them up. To
But
try
that's
to
just
cope.
the real, like,
To try
it's
to
just,
cope.
it's like being like, I don't know. Like, you can't be a Lions fan if you didn't, like,
No, you can.
grow up into it.
College is different. If you went to another, if you attended and graduated from another university, but you rep a different one like this.
This is loser talk,
Why?
bro.
Why?
Because the only thing you have left right now this year is Walmart Wolverines. That's all you have. That's your only argument.
You put a Michigan fan in front of me, I'll say, hey, Booner, we're going to lose.
I'm
we're
a
gonna
Michigan
lose for
fan.
sure.
I'm right in front of you.
Yeah,
right
you are
here.
a Michigan fan, but you're an alumna from a different school, right?
I went to a smaller school.
Okay. Do you rep
I
them?
went there for basketball.
Where's your Saginaw chain? You don't got
They don't
one.
sell those because it's a D2 school.
You don't got one.
They don't sell them.
You don't got one. It's all right.
Can we?
You have no loyalty.
They don't love you like that.
Dude, that's
You have no
this
loyalty.
is ridiculous.
All right, can we break bread a little bit? Because I
This
think
is ridiculous.
you know what?
I'm gonna end up punching Spencer.
Oh, okay,
tonight.
no.
Please punch me.
Nobody punch anybody.
Please
because
punch me, Booner.
I can actually
No
break
fights,
bread with
boys.
you
I
guys.
dare you.
Might kill
Unless you don't
I
want
dare
to.
you. You couldn't kill me if you wanted to.
Damn.
I could.
You couldn't kill me if you
I
wanted
would
to.
destroy you.
You couldn't kill me if you wanted
I
to.
know. I did just give Spencer a hug, though. I love him.
Yeah,
I love him too.
I just want to be able to enjoy my
hey.
team,
Your team.
success.
Your team.
It is.
Why?
I will
The
say
team
till
you
I
like.
die.
Why?
My team.
Why?
Because since I was a baby, my whole family has been Michigan. I've had uncles, aunts, cousins,
So have I.
grandparents graduate
So
from
have I.
Michigan. Okay, but you ended up switching sides and going to Michigan State. That's on you. Sorry, buddy.
It's on
Sorry
me.
you switched to the loser side.
To the loser
That's
side.
your fault.
Yeah? To the loser side,
Your
huh?
fault.
All right, let's break bread, everybody, because let me just
Go Cardinals,
let me just
too.
moderate this a bit.
Go
because
Cardinals. That's the first time he said that in his life.
I've said it my whole life.
Here's where
I've got a ring from there.
Do you? You wear it?
Yeah, I do. Yes,
Damn.
on special occasions I do.
Oh, okay.
All right. Here's where the disconnect, I think, comes from Booner to Spencer at this point. And this is where I'm going to have to step in a bit. So we are allowed to be Michigan fans. And it's not... And as
No, you can
No,
be
you
fans.
can't. You can be a Walmart Michigan
fans.
fan.
You can be fans.
Okay.
But that's what you are. It's yeah.
What's after that?
What's after what?
Alumni? We're not alumni. We know that.
Exactly.
We're not.
So
But
what
we can
else
say
are- so
we
what are
because
you then?
we are a fan of that team.
Yeah?
Do you say we when it comes to the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, it's different.
Okay, no, it isn't. It's the same thing with
Yeah,
fans.
I have the ability to just go attend the Detroit Lions if I
Exactly.
want to.
Not
I just
everybody
went to a
has
Michigan
chance to
game
go to
last year.
college,
Wait.
but not everybody has a chance to play
Yeah,
in the
everybody has-
professional
Okay, but when,
Everybody has a chance to go
when,
college.
like for me, when you go there for basketball,
You could have went to Michigan. You could have done two years
not.
of
Didn't have
Saginaw.
the-
You could have done 2 years of
didn't
Saginaw
have
and
the
transferred to
connection.
Michigan.
Didn't have
That's
the
what I
connection.
did.
Didn't but all of your family, all those people that went there,
Not for
you could have
sports.
put them on there.
Not
You
for
could no.
sports.
I'm not
And I
saying
was too
sports.
dumb to get in
Shout
there.
out McComb.
You could have done 2
Stop
years.
reminding
there.
me how dumb I was.
all right.
You still are.
I am. You
You
are
fucking
too.
idiot.
All
No.
right, everybody.
Spencer's
we
actually really
are
smart,
we
by the
are let's go to
I
break.
got accepted to Michigan.
I know you did. You're
Let's
smart.
go
Congrats.
to break,
But I
and
turned
when
it
we
down.
come back,
Because fuck them.
we are going to,
That's
you know
the
what? I think this is a topic that'll actually get maybe some fireworks going in here as well. I'm going to talk about JJ for Heisman and the
Oh
buzz.
my God.
You know, and you know
Oh
what?
my
And maybe this time the
Paul
fireworks will
Pagano.
come from me.
Fuck this guy.
You know what? All right. On Michigan State pregame show, we will be right back. Woodward Sports Network.
Smooth jet.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Are you a die-hard college football fan?
To the house, touchdown!
Well, it's your lucky day. Join WSN's Spencer Raxter and Flannel Sam this Saturday for the Michigan State pregame show. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel this Saturday and tune in live from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
All right. right, this is what happens when Booner joins the show, and we obviously we love Booner from Woodward,
love Booner.
from Woodward Nights.
Booner's
with
the fucking
Booner
man.
and Broder. He absolutely
Check
is
it
the
out.
man. And of course, speaking of Woodward Nights, we got Nick Koloff in the TV booth. Of course, I got Spencer Raxter from the Woodward
What up, though?
Heavyweights, Flannel Sam, myself from Morning Woodward Show, and Chris Platte in the TV booth from Woodward Heavyweights. Man, we are around the world at Woodward Sports Shows, and I could not be any happier to be with you guys tonight. Are we ready to move on, guys? Are we ready to transition, or do you guys need to go at it just for a little bit more? Because I'm cool either way. Like, it's kind of nice to just sort of sit back and enjoy the chaos and just kind of just sit back, you know?
No, there's nothing to go at.
All right.
There's nothing to go at. It's like when we get that kind of argument, it means less. It's like,
Yeah, because you guys are trash.
we're
less for
trash.
you.
We're trash.
You are.
We are trash.
You guys are bad.
The team you like is a bunch of pussies.
No, not like I'm a fan of.
The team you're a fan of is a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, since
The team you don't belong to. The team you've never been a part of. The
Listen
team
to
you've
this.
never been
Hey, Flannel, real quick,
engaged
just being
with
you,
at all.
Not listening to him. How funny is it if Michigan State was good, he would be going at us, and he wouldn't mention, "Oh, you're not a fan. You're not that."
You want to bet?
Am I wrong?
Oh.
You want to bet?
He'll take all the time when he's good about it.
Yeah,
Well, no, he wouldn't.
This guy doesn't know what he's
No,
talking
he
about because he's
wouldn't.
never
No,
been
he
involved
wouldn't.
with people. He's never seen the other side because he doesn't know. If he doesn't know, he doesn't know, and he doesn't know. He's a sweet summer child. You're a sweet summer child.
guys are-
You like to
you're
think
a
you're
loser.
you like to think you're a part of the rivalry, but you're nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this bubble.
This is you trying to deflect because you guys are so bad this year. You have nothing else to deflect about. You're trying to deflect it on me and Flannel for being Walmart
darn.
Wolverines.
You're right.
That's all right, buddy.
We're a bad team.
It's all right,
Flannel,
buddy.
What did I say about this team?
Yeah, they're terrible.
No, I know you said
Worst
you're bad.
Michigan State team ever.
Yeah,
You
okay,
also
yeah,
said
thank
that if Mel Tucker was coaching, it'd be in a bowl game, which that's false as well. So
Would they have 2 more wins?
They,
go to Flannel for
they
it.
would have
Would not
at-
be a bowl game.
they'd have at least one.
At
They'd have
least one,
They'd
yeah,
have
At least one more.
Well,
Yeah, at
one
least
gives
one
you
more.
what, 3 wins? Still 3
least
away
one
from a bowl game. That's cool. It's
Yeah.
cute.
Oh yeah.
No,
That's
it's cool.
cute.
Deflect it to
That's
me.
cute. That's
Deflect
cute.
it.
How much does it mean to you?
Deflect.
How
it.
much does it mean
Just
to you?
keep deflecting.
How much
it.
does this mean to you?
Oh, it's so sad. You have a tough
Yeah,
day.
answer the question, you little idiot. How much does this mean to you? Does it mean it doesn't mean anything to you?
Oh yeah, it doesn't at all. It means nothing.
No, you're just
I wouldn't
putting on
be
a
here right
costume.
now if it didn't mean anything.
You're putting on a costume.
I'm not.
It's
Halloween's
Halloween.
next week.
It's
Oh, funny.
Halloween for Booner.
Look at Flannel. The Michigan State people are just deflecting at me right now. We've got 3-2 here, and I'm just getting eaten up.
No, I mean it's. I mean my.
What's
my-
going on here?
My whole view
It's
on
true.
this. All
It's not true.
Is
Go
well,
on
you don't
Flannel.
count
He's the
as a
same
whole,
thing as
you're a
me.
Walmart,
Same thing.
so-
Where did he go to college?
Western Illinois
Western
University.
Illinois. Shout
Okay.
out.
Shout out Leatherneck.
Shout out Leatherneck.
Rodney Harrison.
Shout out Rodney
So
Harrison.
is he putting on a costume too?
Yeah.
Come on. You're just deflecting because
I
you
mean,
guys are
yours
losers
is more
right
decorative.
I know we're losers. I'm not deflecting
I'm
anything.
glad you said that. Thank you. That's all I wanted
I've
out
said
of
it
you today.
Oh, that's all he wanted to hear.
All right.
You haven't been listening for the past week because your
Say, we
your
are
ears
lo-
are
we
clogged
are-
with costume makeup. You clown.
I mean, the reality is we're all allowed to be fans of whoever
For sure.
we want, and that is I
can.
think.
But
I-
it means more. It means more when you
it
actually
does.
went
Come
there.
Stop that.
It doesn't.
Shut
It
up,
doesn't.
dude.
It doesn't mean more when you're a part of it, when you've been there, when you're in it. It doesn't mean more to you.
What, you were on the field?
No, it
You
makes
suited
sense.
up?
It makes sense.
Did you suit up?
It makes sense.
Have you ever worn the uniform? Have you worn the
you
uniform?
wouldn't
Have you ever
understand.
worn the
You
uniform?
wouldn't
Have you worn
understand.
the uniform?
Booner.
Have you put a helmet on?
Hey, Booner.
Ned, exactly. Sit
You
down and
wouldn't-
shut up.
you wouldn't
You've never
understand.
worn the uniform.
You wouldn't understand.
You've worn just as many uniforms as all 3 of us
You
have.
wouldn't understand.
No, you never even put the helmet on.
You wouldn't
You
understand.
put more. No,
No, this
shut
makes
up.
sense to
Sit
me.
down. Shut up.
You wouldn't understand.
You've never even
'Cause
put
you're
the
just a
helmet
little
on.
bitch in a
You
t-shirt.
never put the helmet on.
You're just a little
You
bitch
don't
in a
even.
t-shirt.
You've never wore a uniform before.
You wouldn't understand how it feels.
Just as much as you, because you've
wouldn't
never worn a
understand how it
uniform.
feels. You
You've
wouldn't
never worn a
understand
uniform.
how it feels to be a
Okay.
part of something.
No, yeah, you were a part of a team.
I was a part of the university. I
The
was
team?
a part of the
The
collective.
team?
Yeah, I went to classes with those guys.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
How
it
about
was.
that?
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Do you know what that feels like?
That's sweet.
Do you know what that feels like?
I
No,
didn't go
no,
there.
Do you know what it feels like?
Congratulations, 98%
This
of
is
the
a
Michigan
yes or
fans
no
didn't
question.
go there.
Stop deflecting to your statistics that you made up. Do you know what it feels
This
like?
is
Yes
so
or no?
annoying.
Do you know what it
I'm
feels like?
moving on.
Yes
Move
or
on,
no?
Flannel.
Answer the question.
This is the dumbest point of all time.
All right, and that's,
Will you answer
He's
the
trying
question?
to say we can't be fans of a
I'm
team.
not saying you can't be
Hey,
fans.
dude, come on. You
Did I-
never put the
different.
helmet
Did I
on.
say
It's
that?
different.
You're acting like you played tight ends for the Michigan
Booner,
State
Booner,
football.
look at me.
No, Flannel, move on.
Booner, look at me. Booner, look at me. Do you know what it feels
Have you
like?
scored a touchdown in a game? Like,
Do
have you
you
taken
know-
a snap?
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Have you?
Listen to me.
Have you put a helmet on?
Do you know what it feels
See
like?
that helmet? You've never worn that
Are you
before.
going to answer the question, or
No,
are you just
I'm
going
not.
to yell like an idiot?
I do know what it feels like because we won 2 Big Ten championships
You did.
the last
You
2 years.
did.
Yep, just as much as you.
No?
Because you weren't on a team.
Were you part of the collective? Were you part of the fan base? Were you part of
This is
Were you
insane,
part of the
bro.
community?
Dude, move on. Shut up.
Yeah, you can't answer it because you're scared.
Dude, just because you have you went there doesn't mean this is a Division I school. There are hundreds of thousands of fans. There's millions of fans. You're just a loser right now that's just trying to deflect because you guys suck.
Oh man,
move on.
You are hurt.
I'm not hurt. This is annoying.
You are hurt about a team you like.
All right, move on.
That you have no ties to. Absolutely none.
All right, put the helmet on. You never even played on the football team.
Oh man,
you're sitting here acting like you were on the team.
Oh man.
We're
I'm
allowed
sorry,
to be
Booner.
fans, though, and
You
be
can
passionate
fans.
about
No,
it.
you
And
can't. Not
that's the thing.
Spencer.
You can be fans. I just said that 5 times.
As long as we're able to celebrate.
Look at Blue Lantern. I love MSU, but I didn't go there. Just because you didn't go there doesn't mean you can't love the team.
But I just said it
no,
hits
dude,
different.
just shut up.
I just said it
because you
hits
didn't go there
different.
doesn't mean you can't love.
I said it hits
Nah,
different.
it doesn't hit different.
It means more.
You could go 26 years and be a fan of a team. It doesn't mean you don't love them as much as someone.
But it means more.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know, and that's fine. But it means more. Trust me. Trust me. You can trust me on this because you wouldn't know.
Hey, Kyle, I'm not close to tears.
Hey,
you
wait,
wouldn't
Booner. you know what, Booner? I got your
I'm
back.
the farthest from tears. We're
I
about
got
to win
you.
by 50 today.
Well, and that's the thing.
Everyone at Michigan State's going to be in tears, buddy. No, we're not.
And you know what? That is probably right, and I am all for it. And when
Mel Tucker's in tears at home right now.
He probably is. Well, actually, he's
Shut
probably
up
going to make a
and
lot of
No,
money.
he's making a lot of money.
Yeah, but here's the
the
reality. When Michigan does exactly what we think that they're going to do to Michigan State, we can celebrate, we can hoot and holler, respectfully, of course, because Spencer, you might not, because I know you guys got a beef going on. It's not going to be personal or anything like that, but at the same time, when we celebrate, I don't want to hear anybody saying, like, why are you celebrating? You didn't go there. We are allowed to
No,
be fans.
like I said, you can be fans. Okay. You can celebrate. You can do your thing. But like I said, it means more. It means more.
Yeah, it means more because you're on the team.
It
you
means
have a
more.
ring from there,
No,
don't
I
you?
understand, Booner.
No,
you
I'm just
wouldn't
wondering.
understand.
You wouldn't
understand.
You've never been on the team.
You wouldn't
ran out of that
understand.
tunnel before?
Spenny, I think that's a boatload of shit.
It's a boatload of shit.
You put
It's a
in
boatload
all
of
this
shit.
energy.
Let's go.
You
It
put
doesn't
in all
mean
the
more.
energy.
It doesn't mean more. Who's
but
been there?
but you put
Who's
in all
gone
this
there?
energy.
Who's lived there? I lived there for 3
Oh,
years.
congratulations! You lived in East Lansing.
Yeah, and I went to
Congrats!
school.
And I'm going to move there. Does that mean I'm invested?
Did you graduate from the school? Did you
Oh
go to the
my
school?
gosh! Should I move there and I'm just
No,
invested?
am I crazy right now to say it means more
Yes.
for someone who's
This is a
actually been
Division
there?
I program.
For someone who's actually done it?
This is a D1 program. There's worldwide fans.
Yeah, there is.
It's just
They're
a
fans.
loser talk
They're
to sit
fans,
here and
for sure.
You're trying to gatekeep other fans. Like,
I'm
bro,
not
get
getting
out
you
of
could
here.
be a fan.
Dude, this
I'm just
that's
saying
so
it means
bad.
more. And if I look at Broder, if I look at Braylon,
This
if I
is
look
such
at Ryan,
loser talk, bro.
I'll say, yeah, it means more. It
No,
means
it
more to them.
doesn't, dude. I bet you if I called Ryan, he would be like, Booner, if you've been in it for 26 years, your family sat there, and your family graduated from there, yes, he would be like, you're a Michigan
Yeah,
man.
you followed their footsteps. And you suckled at their
Didn't get
team.
into the college. Sorry, I'm too dumb.
You suckled at their team.
Sorry, I got an 18 on my ACT. I couldn't get in.
See, now that's
Woof.
where
I got a 19
that's where
shout-out.
that's a little bit.
Yeah, he got a 19 and got into Michigan State.
No.
You just said it. Come
That's why I
on.
was a Macomb Monarch for 2 years. Then
Shout out
switched.
Monarchs.
Got that GPA looking right.
Like I said, you can be a fan. You can have
That's
your
just the
pride.
dumbest thing,
You can
dude.
do all
Worldwide
of it,
universities.
but it does mean more.
It
No, it
does
doesn't.
mean
It
more,
does.
especially when you owe them thousands of dollars. Like
Yes.
we do.
Oh,
Yes.
well, if you know what, Chris Platte, that is the mic drop moment, because I can get with you guys on that one, because I know I owe Western Illinois and Specs Howard
Yeah.
a little bit right now.
I don't
and
owe
that's
Saginaw
not-
Valley
So
money.
it-
I
it
owe the
means
bank
more.
money.
All right, so let's
there's that.
I think we're at a good point where we can table this discussion. You know what, we're gonna blow through break because it doesn't really matter, because I want to get to this because I've been dying to get to this, but I had to let you guys go at it because it's a fun show. We had to get a little bit of spice going in here, but I want to
fuck Booner.
I want to talk about something which I think is very relevant.
Hey, real quick, I am going to enroll next semester in U of M Flint, so I'm at least a Michigan.
All right, all
I
right.
went there.
All right,
Yeah,
all
you
right.
went to Flint.
U of M Flint.
All right, that's.
Sounds like coping.
Hey, Booner,
Just so I can
JJ
say-
McCarthy. You want to talk about JJ
I
McCarthy?
did. I do have a Heisman bet on him.
All right,
So
let's-
it's Booner. Shiny keys. Shiny
JJ
keys.
McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy.
All right, so there was actually one man at this network that sits in this chair from 2 to 4, Monday through Friday, Ryan Ermanni, who earlier on, I believe it was before the season, he has doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down, and said that J.J. McCarthy is going to win the Heisman Trophy, and he is going to be the #1 quarterback drafted.
Laughable.
All right. Let's rap about this really quick. Let's rap about this, because at the time, I understand that some people weren't very happy about it. But here's the thing. J.J. McCarthy has had a very good season, and he does have things in front of him. He has the pathway, I think, to get to New York. Not necessarily win it, but I think he has the pathway to get to New York. And I want to ask every single Michigan fan at this network, and every single Michigan fan, Booner, Nick, myself, Brady Wood, every single Michigan fan watching this chat, do not succumb to the peer pressure, because as the season has gone on, the Michigan Heisman chase, I think, has some legs. I think he can get to New York, and I think he can be a first-round draft pick. Yes. I don't think he's going to be a Heisman Trophy winner. I don't think he's going to be #1 overall. But when all of those remarks were made by Ryan Ermanni, which at the time I didn't necessarily agree with, every Michigan fan in this building was basically rushed to, you got to condemn this. You got to condemn this. This is your boy. This is your boy. There is no way you can believe this. And people were talking way out of pocket to counteract that and be like, J.J. McCarthy's not even good. He's not even going to be a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Nobody said that.
Yes,
Nobody said that.
Yes, they did.
Who said that?
The whole chat. Everybody.
Nobody fucking said that.
Yes, they did.
No, they just don't think he's going to be the #1 draft pick, because that is fucking blasphemous.
It is not that blasphemous, because he's going to be the 3rd or 4th.
He is going to. There's absolutely zero chance in God's green earth J.J. is the first pick off the board. It'll never fucking happen.
And I agree with that. But
so it's blasphemous.
But the point is that Ryan Ermanni may have been wrong, but he's not that wrong. He's still going to be a first-round pick. J.J. McCarthy is still going to go to New York, as long as, and I get it, there are some people ahead of him right now. There are a lot of people ahead of him. There is a pathway for J.J. McCarthy to get to New York, though, and here's what it is. Let me lay it out in front of you, because it is smoother than you guys want to think. So through 7 games, he has 14 touchdown passes, 13 on the ground. He's actually played very well, and he's 2nd in the nation in quarterback rating and 2nd in the nation in completion percentage. Here's what J.J. McCarthy needs to do. He needs to go out, and when he plays at Penn State, when he plays versus Ohio State, he needs to ball out and show up, and Michigan needs to go undefeated. J.J. McCarthy needs to throw between 26 and 30 touchdown passes, rush for 5 to 7 more, and I think he's in. I think he's in New York. I don't think it's going to be enough to overtake Michael Penix.
No, not a chance.
But you know what? A lot of people who we think are no doubt locks, they are definitely higher on the Heisman list than J.J. McCarthy. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe now.
So is
right.
J.J. McCarthy higher on the Heisman list than Caleb Williams?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But here's what Caleb Williams has.
Here's
what Caleb Williams has right now. A terrible performance in a loss. And in the eyes of Heisman voters, that matters.
What's worse? Caleb Williams doing what he did against Notre Dame,
okay,
which is what, a top 15 team in the country.
Sure.
Or J.J. McCarthy throwing 3 interceptions against Bowling Green.
I'm glad you mentioned
that. So
that
shouldn't hurt his Heisman chances
Here's
at all.
the reality of the situation. J.J. McCarthy's performance against Bowling Green, it was not good. It was the worst game of his career by far. And it should damage him more than it actually will, because it did not hurt the team in any way, shape, or form. They still won by 25. And other than that game, and Nick, you can mark me on this, J.J. McCarthy has played perfect football. Other than the Bowling Green game, he has literally played the quarterback position at a flawless level. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I can see him getting to New York in that Heisman. There is a chance too. Michael Penix plays Utah at home, and then he has to travel at USC and at Oregon State. If he picks up 3 losses in those 3 games, I know he's minus 120 or minus 150 right now to win it. There's a chance if JJ balls out, gets maybe 7 to 8 touchdowns in these massive games, throws for over 300 yards, there's a big chance, because it's all about the brand, and JJ's the quarterback for the biggest brand in football.
Well, and that's the thing. Michigan, and like, he still has a lot of work to do. I'm not saying that he doesn't. Michigan 100% has to go undefeated. If they lose one game, particularly if they lose to Penn State and Ohio State, which I don't think will happen, but if they do and J.J. McCarthy shits the bed, I'm going to have to sit back and be like, you know what? I was wrong. He's not a Heisman-worthy quarterback. But if they're undefeated, if J.J. McCarthy, like I said, 26 to 30 touchdown passes, at least 5 to 7 runs, an undefeated season, including the Big Ten championship game, I think he'll be in New York.
Okay, so he hasn't had a better season so far than Caleb Williams.
Not yet.
Definitely not Michael Penix.
Oh, Michael Penix is easily the front
What
runner.
about Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels has had a better year so far, but Jaden Daniels is another one. He had a poor performance in a loss, the game against Florida State.
Oh, against
His numbers
Florida
look
State,
better.
against the top 5 team in the country.
Right, but J.J. McCarthy has the opportunity to have his showcase moment at Penn State versus Ohio State, and if he shows up, which he did last year at Ohio State, he had the best game of his life. If he shows up in those games, then J.J. McCarthy is going to go to New York. If he does.
No, he'll probably go to New York because more than likely Michigan will be undefeated.
Sure.
They might catch one loss between those 2 games. I don't think they will, but more than likely they will. And he'll go to New York. He's not going to win, though.
Sure. I mean,
he is damn sure not going to be the first quarterback off the board, let alone the first pick.
I mean, he might be in like the 3rd to 5th range of quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's fair. So like the 15th pick.
And that would be a rousing success. That would be the highest a Michigan quarterback has ever been drafted.
Yeah, but that's not the first pick off the board.
All right.
So that is a blasphemous statement.
Blasphemous would be like if J.J. McCarthy were like a 3rd round pick.
A blasphemous statement is saying that J.J. McCarthy would get picked before Caleb Williams. That is a blasphemous statement.
I don't think J.J. McCarthy wants part ownership of a franchise.
And I don't think J.J. McCarthy's as good as Caleb Williams.
I mean, no, but Caleb Williams is a better prospect, but let's not pretend that he's Andrew Luck or Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Caleb Williams is a damn good prospect, but J.J. McCarthy's a pretty damn good one too. And there is
he is, but he's not on the level of Caleb Williams. Not even close.
No, not yet. Probably not ever.
Not yet. Not yet. What do you mean? He's got like 2 months to get up to that
but
level.
J.J. McCarthy, you even admitted you like him as a prospect.
I do.
He's got the arm. He's got the size. He's got
I think
the mobility.
He'll be the 3rd or 4th quarterback picked in this draft.
And that's fair. That is 100% fair. You know what? I got to get Booner in on this because, you're a Michigan fan. You're a big J.J. guy like myself.
Asterisks.
What were you talking about the asterisks for?
He's just pouting.
All right. So how do you feel about J.J. McCarthy and the whole Heisman where he's drafted? What is your view on it?
I'm guessing he's going to be in New York if he has 2 games, 100%. The Jaden Daniels argument, he's already had opportunities in big games, like you guys said. So I don't see that kind of being the case. But Michael Penix, he has, like Nick said, he has multiple big games to go. The Pac-12, just like for the college football playoffs, they eat each other up every single year. They're going to do that probably again at the end of this season. So I think there's that chance to where Michael Penix has to go to USC and play. Goes in there. It's not a great defense, but if he doesn't go in there and he loses, say they drop 2 games, and JJ goes undefeated and puts numbers up, he's going to be in New York and he's going to have a chance to win the Heisman if that's the case. If things work out the way that in his favor.
How many touchdowns,
just like Ohio
touchdowns
State,
do you think he gets this year total?
I don't know. What is he at right now?
He's at 4. He has 14 passing and 3 rushing.
Oh wow, he's going to break the Michigan record.
Yeah, well,
I mean, 25.
Yeah,
he'll break that. He'll break that. Get 25, or at least 25. So I mean, even if he does that, and I get it, like Pac-12 is just so different because those are just high-scoring offense. It's just different football. But at the end of the day, it's who's going to be on the best team and who's going to be the leader of that best team and have the numbers to go with it.
I love that you just
That's
said
what it's going to end up being, though.
Who's going to be on the best team? Who is the leader of that best team? Because Sam Flannel, who is your most hated college quarterback of the most recent years?
And guess who went to New York?
And guess who went to New
Bennett.
York? And guess who clowned him more than anybody on this network?
I did.
You did.
I did.
But
he sucks.
But it's cool for JJ to hit the same route that Stetson Bennett.
It's going to be a similar situation.
No,
probably.
but Stetson Bennett, let me just say this. In that season the year before, the 2021 year where Georgia literally had 5 first-round draft pick defensive players, plus Nakobe Dean, plus a freshman Brock Bowers, plus George Pickens and all of that, Stetson Bennett was basically carried by a great roster to that national championship. And then the one after, Stetson Bennett obviously put up monster numbers in the college football playoff, but the numbers that got him to New York,
4,128 yards and 27 touchdowns.
But those were calculated after the college football playoff too. When you are deciding who goes to New York, those numbers don't get taken into account. And I don't think the numbers that he put up to that point were New York worthy. But that's my point. J.J. McCarthy, I think he will put up better numbers this season, and they'll have the same record as Stetson Bennett did at the same time last year. And I think, like I said, a lot of these quarterbacks that you might think are ahead of of them are kind of close to them. I think they either have blemishes or they're going to have blemishes. I mean, you look at Quinn Ewers, that game against Oklahoma, that was unacceptable. He catapulted himself into that race with that game at Alabama, but that Oklahoma loss in which he threw a couple picks, unacceptable. You look at Sam Hartman. He was bad against Ohio State and Louisville, both losses. You even look at Shedeur Sanders, who was an early front runner.
That loss to Louisville sucks.
Yeah, that loss to Louisville sucks. But the Shedeur Sanders one, he was, and I know this is more of a total team defeat than just him, he was not good in the Oregon game.
Yeah.
The whole team wasn't good in the Oregon game. They were completely outmatched. And I'm not saying it was all Shedeur Sanders' fault. That Colorado blown lead to Stanford, a 29-0 halftime lead to Stanford, that should disqualify everyone.
He's not going to be in New York.
Right.
He's not going to be in New York.
But that's the thing.
Although he's a more talented player than J.J. McCarthy.
I don't know about that.
I do.
I don't know about that.
You don't think he's a better prospect?
I think they're pretty close.
Who would you take? If you're the GM of the Sam Flannels, and you've got a top pick, you need a quarterback, Shedeur Sanders and J.J. McCarthy are on the board, who are you taking?
I would take J.J. McCarthy because here's the tiebreaker. When J.J. McCarthy gets road wins at Arizona State, he doesn't flash his watches or have his company sell stuff at halftime of a 29-0 lead over Stanford.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he's a high character locker room guy.
Yeah,
you
high
definitely want
character,
him to date your daughter.
Hustle guy, very
It's the
hustle. A
quarterback
gritty
position.
All
player.
about the intangibles, really.
You know what, though?
You can't put a measurement on that.
That's okay because I know there's some people at the network, and I kind of think you're in that point too, that worship at the Father and the Son and Coach Prime. And whatever his offspring.
yeah.
He's in commercials with fucking Nick Saban. It's the most ridiculous thing of all time. I was happy when Oregon beat that ass. I was happy when they blew that lead to
He sounds
Stanford.
like a hater.
Well, the
right
thing
I
is,
am a hater.
Flannel, I get it, but he wasn't in those commercials with Nick Saban because his coach, like,
He took over a one-win team.
yeah,
But
but
that's
like,
what's implied,
But like
though.
Flannel, it's like he's
It's
prime.
Deion Sanders.
It's not like it's just because he's a coach. Like that's Deion, like primetime Sanders. That's why he's in these commercials. Don't let the commercials get you going.
And you know what? Primetime blew that game because he was trying to stat pat for Shedeur, and they were going for it on fourth down for whatever reason. So many times when they gave Stanford short fields. And also another thing, he's also, I think, exploiting Travis Hunter a little bit because they cannot keep that workload the way that that it is 100%. Because Travis Hunter, if he were playing more corner and less wide receiver, he would have not gotten cooked the way he did by Alec Iominor from Stanford. And that's a problem.
In 2 years, if Deion Sanders stays at Colorado for 2 years, who has a better record at the end of the season, Michigan or Colorado?
Michigan. This idea that it's even a conversation is disrespectful.
You don't
to
think
Jim
he'll get
Harbaugh.
better recruits than Jim Harbaugh?
No.
That's crazy.
Why?
Because
Why?
he's an unproven commodity.
He
Coach
is
Brian.
Deion
Flannel.
He's Deion
Flannel.
Sanders.
What is there
What?
to prove?
He's
He
gonna
got the
get
number
better
one.
recruits.
He got the number one player in the country 2 years ago, Travis Hunter, to Jackson.
And
Jackson
he's
State.
misusing him. He's
But-
misusing him.
But the thing is, he's still he's a better recruiter than Jim Harbaugh is.
No, he's not.
He's Deion
Flannel, he
Sanders.
got the number one player to Jackson State 2 years
He
ago.
will get better recruits.
so you're
I'm
worshiping
not.
the Father and the Son. And
I'm
Coach
not.
Prime.
Flannel,
It's okay.
I am
It's okay.
not. I am college football realistic here.
Yeah.
Like, he can recruit. It's because he's prime, but he can recruit.
That's
and
why he can recruit,
uses
yeah.
his name to recruit.
All right, Chuck Brewer says it perfectly. Doesn't matter. He's not a good in-game coach. Exactly. He's not right now. He's got a lot he has to clean up. And this idea that Coach Prime is just going to, oh my God, in a couple of years, Colorado's going to be national champions and Michigan is going to be worse off, that is blasphemous. You want to talk about blasphemous statements? You think what I said was blasphemous. I think what you said was blasphemous.
You don't think Colorado has the trajectory of being a national title contender in a couple of years?
Absolutely fucking not.
Based on what?
Based on what do you think based
The
on
recruits
what?
they're getting, how much better they already are from last year, what they're going to be when he can get a full season of recruiting and get guys in there.
We will see.
You don't think they're going to be a national championship contender?
Absolutely not. Because
Wow.
I didn't believe after they beat TCU. I didn't believe, apparently. I guess I didn't believe.
Yeah, one of them beat TCU, the other one didn't.
Well, TCU's team was significantly worse. But you know
yeah,
what?
no,
You know-
Colorado's team is just as good as Michigan's, right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know what, Spenny? That was a well-timed by you. I will give you that. But you know
Thank
what?
you.
This kind of went off the rails a little bit. When we come back, let's give a predictions for the games, kind of see how we got it playing out. We'll go around the room and give our score prediction and maybe what this could mean for the team moving forward. We will be right back. This is the Michigan State pregame show live on Woodward Sports Network.
Check it out.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness!
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome back to the Michigan State pregame show live on Woodward Sports. We've got a full house tonight. I love it. I'm myself, Flannel Sam from the Morning Woodward Show. We got Spencer Raxter from Woodward Heavyweights. We got Booner in the Maz chair from Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. His brethren from Booner and Broder Woodward Nights. Nick Koloff in the sound booth.
Let's
Brethren.
go.
Why did you say Chris was my brother?
Chris is obviously your brethren too. Chris Platte.
In more ways than one.
Spencer's brethren.
Because we both graduated from the school.
And here we go. All right. So, you know what's funny? We've got
See how upset he got? So upset.
Booner goose from the advice that I didn't take on Thursday. But let's.
I texted to you too.
I know you did. But all right, let's. You know what's funny? We're talking about games that could mean something in the college football landscape. We had the Alabama-Tennessee game on in the studio, and it was 20-7 at halftime, Tennessee. And then we're doing the show, we're having fun. We look over and
34-20.
Alabama scored 27 unanswered points, and they look just fine, and they look like they are a legitimate college football playoff contender.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
100%.
Who else in the SEC could take them down? Georgia, but without Brock Bowers, that's 80% of Georgia's team.
That sounds about it. Yeah, like the reports, the early reports of Nick Saban's downfall, I think were exaggerated. Hey, that's just can't
bring him home. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so obviously we've got a game tonight. We've got a game that we are all very, very excited about. I think Michigan fans a little bit more excited than Michigan State fans, but that is all well and good. But I want to go around the room and kind of get the lay of the land of how you see this game playing out, what the final score is, and what this could mean for this team moving forward the rest of the year. So I'm gonna go, clockwise? Yes, I'm gonna go clockwise. I'm gonna start with Nick Koloff. What are your predictions for the Michigan State game at East Lansing?
In East Lansing. So I think Michigan's going to start out a little bit slow here, and they're going to finish off 38-10. That's where I'm at with this game. I think they're going to win by 28. They're going to cover the spread in East Lansing. I don't think it's going to be like a 45-3 or anything like that, but in the prediction on the year, we're going to the Natty and we're going to win it. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I saw OSU. I saw Penn State. Drew Aller threw for like 42% today. You think that scares me with Michigan's defense? It doesn't. We're going to win in Happy Valley. We're going to win against Ohio State. And we're going to win in the Natty. Let's go.
I mean, at this point, there's really nowhere to go but national championship if you're Michigan football, especially considering that the #1 bugaboo to all of college football, Georgia, they lost Brock Bowers. And they've lost a lot of defensive talent over the last couple of years. I mean, Jalen Carter ain't walking through that door. Jordan Davis ain't walking through that door. Quay Walker ain't walking through that door. Devontae Wyatt, Lewis Seed, Nakobe Dean, they all ain't walking through that door. I know they're a talented team, but still, you don't just reload like that every single year. So I like that, Nick. Booner.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the game tonight at East Lansing?
Score prediction, I think I'm going to go 45-7. One touchdown. I think this defense is going to hold them under 10. I don't see them much success. So that's going to be my score prediction. I don't know if I'm not going to get into national championships, anything like that yet until we get into this Penn State game in a couple of weeks. I'll start talking about that a little bit more until we play Penn State. Yes, we.
Yeah. You going to go out there? You going to suit up?
No, are you?
No.
Okay. But 45-7, Flannel, we will be on the live stream. I'll be making sure we're bringing some energy.
Oh, no, we 100% will, because I'll tell you what, guys, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. I know we do the Lions live streams, and I get excited for those, and everybody gets excited for those, but my level of psychopathy for Michigan games is at a level that no other sport could ever even come close to, and that's just the way it is. All right,
and imagine
Chris,
when it means more. How much?
Imagine how much more it means.
Imagine how much more it means.
man, you are on one, Spade. That's all.
Has to be.
Booner,
He's
I
got
think we
nothing
will
else to
all
cheer for.
I think we all in this side of the room, Booner, Nick, and Spenny, me, myself, Jesus, will be. We'll be the happier ones tonight, and I think that will be
true,
more
but it
than
means
well.
less.
So speaking of one who I don't think will be happy tonight, Chris Platte. How do you see this game playing out, man?
I see his night ending with 60,000 people blackout drunk in East Lansing. That's how I see, and we're just gonna try not to remember this. We're just gonna try not to remember this. This is a bye week.
Yep.
That's how we're looking at it.
Everything's gonna be fine.
What's your score prediction?
Score prediction. If I'm not being funny, I'm gonna go 31-7.
Okay.
Ooh, I mean, that's
A little more respectable.
That's how I kind of said earlier that I could see a bloodbath, or I could see it being a little bit too close for comfort at halftime for Michigan, and then they pull ahead. I mean, last season was 29-7. I think Michigan State was better last year, but still, 31-7. I would prefer a little bit more of a beatdown, but I can't hate 31-7 because it's not like Michigan State is just complete trash. They just are situationally as bad as any school I've ever seen in a particular year. And if you want to include last year in that, my goodness. Spencer, what is your prediction for?
My prediction for this game is 38-12 Michigan State. No, I'm just kidding. My prediction for this game is 52-17 Michigan.
Damn.
Yeah,
52.
it's going to be bad.
17?
52-17.
Jeez, that's a lot of points.
52-17 Michigan. It's going to be bad.
burger.
It's going to be a beat down. Yeah, Michigan obviously is the better team. They're going to take care of business.
Yeah, no, that sounds all well and good. And I'm going to finish this off with my Michigan prediction and then kind of what it means for the rest of the year. I mean, this game doesn't really mean a whole lot, but still, we'll just bear with me. All right, Michigan tonight, I think they are going to win. I'm going to go with 48-10. I think that it's going to be more of a beatdown than it is a slow simmer in which Michigan kind of struggles to get it going. I think this is the best Michigan team that has been there over the past 3 years. I think J.J. McCarthy is playing the best football of his career. This defense, even though they've lost some people, even though they don't have that high-end stars like Aiden Hutchinson or Ajabo or even to some extent Mike Morris, they've got so many guys that have stepped up like Josiah Stewart, Jalen Harrell, Mason Graham. I think that Michigan will struggle mightily to move. Michigan State will struggle mightily to move the ball and score. And I think offensively, this is the game where JJ has a big game, Corum is steady, and Donovan Edwards breaks one finally, because we got to get that man going, because if he keeps playing the way that he's playing, he's going to cost himself some dollars in the NFL. So it's about that time for Donovan Edwards to get it going. And for the rest of the year, Michigan has to win the national championship or it is a failed season, like Nick said. I mean, we were watching earlier Penn State, Ohio State. There is no reason that Michigan shouldn't go into Happy Valley and beat them. There is no reason why Michigan shouldn't go into Happy Valley and allow any more than 14 points, because I'll tell you what, Drew Aller, he may be young, he may be talented. He was not good today. I'm not saying his wide receivers did him any favors. I know he was under constant pressure, but he was not good today. And Ohio State, I know they look more physical this year. I'll give them that. No, the Notre Dame win was impressive. The Penn State win, especially the way that they stopped Penn State's offense, was very, very impressive. But I think Michigan has to beat Ohio State at home. Certainly, I think one of the biggest differences is that they have Kyle McCord now instead of C.J. Stroud. And Kyle McCord is basically a Marvin Harrison Jr. merchant. You saw it today. And in the biggest play of the game that should have went Penn State's way, a fumble touchdown, it didn't, because the DB got called for a penalty by holding Marvin Harrison Jr., because there's not a whole lot you can do with him. So yes, Michigan wins this game and they win the national championship.
All right.
Yes, has to be that way.
Well, you heard it here first. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in to the Michigan State pregame show. Make sure you tune in at 7:30 for the watch party. For Flannel, for Nick, for Booner, for Chris, I am Spencer Raxter. This is Woodward Sports. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace. Go green.
Go blue.
Light.
Go blue.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew this weekend for our Michigan State, and Lions watch-along party featuring different special guests and surprises. Tune in on Saturday and Sunday on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel at game time.